besties, welcome to Plot Twists and Punchlines.
I'm Steph.
And I'm Mel.
Two best friends here to distract you from the world. Join us each week while we both dive into a new conspiracy theory we saw this week.
And give our questionable takes on them. So grab your blanket, your coffee, and your emotional support cryptid.
And let's get into today's episode.
Hello.
Take three.
Take three. We're back.
Yeah.
Sorry for this late episode. I was sick this weekend, but I am going to try to edit it and release it either today, like tonight, or tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
So it'll come out within the next 24 hours for sure.
Yes. So thanks for being patient. Hopefully it's worth it.
Hopefully. And Eid Mubarak to all of our beautiful Muslim listeners out here.
Yep. Sorry. The first time we recorded this, I tried to repeat what she said, and it just came out so horribly white. I tried, but I'm going to remain ignorant and say Happy Eid.
Because that's what we love white people to do. Stay ignorant.
Remain ignorant. I'm so sorry.
Okay. So my ignorant white friend is going to start us off today.
Oh my God. I didn't mean that in like super ignorant. Today is also mine and Jason's 3-year anniversary.
The important one.
Oh my God. It's always about race with you.
We live in America.
Yes. So even though I had a lot of time to prepare, this was kind of hard to like dive into because there's so many different episodes of what I'm going to be talking about. So today I'm going to talk about the dancing plague.
Ooh.
That happened. So it happened starting in like even before medieval times, like in the 1020s were the first like.
Sorry guys, I'm still a little sick.
So in like the 1020s was the first like recorded known episodes of them, but they were kind of more sporadic. So I'm going to I'll talk about those a little bit, but the ones that I'm going to talk about are more widespread, like epidemic type.
Okay.
So the dancing plague was a phenomenon that happened between the 14th and 17th centuries, mainly in Europe. It was also commonly referred to as dancing mania, choreomania, St. John's dance, Tarantism, and St. Vitus's dance. The mania affected both adults and children, and basically those who were ailed by the plague would dance erratically until they either collapsed from exhaustion and injuries, died, or were healed. The victims' movements were described as spasmodic with many convulsions, and their bodies were left drenched in sweat. Their arms would thrash violently, and some noted that their eyes were vacant and expressionless. Blood would pool into their swollen feet, and they would eventually bleed into their shoes.
Oh, God.
I know. Often they would also cry for help. Like those who were dancing would just be like, please help, please make it stop. I know. It's kind of sad. If the victims did not succumb to a heart attack, they would collapse from extreme exhaustion, hunger, or thirst. So they literally would not stop until their body forced them to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like the one woman that I'm going to be talking about only stopped to sleep. And then as soon as she woke up,
she would dance again.
she was dancing again. Yeah.
Was there like music, or were they all just in the street not dancing?
Yeah, so the earlier ones, there was not music, but it did come to be like that musicians, it was for a minute thought to help the people who were dancing to play music for them to dance to. But then later on, they were like, this is just encouraging the behavior, and music was actually banned for a minute. So
encouraging the behavior that they couldn't control?
Well, that's the theory part of it. We don't know what or why this happened.
Truth.
The earliest known incident was in the early 7th century, sometime in the 1020s, where 18 peasants began singing and dancing around a church, disturbing a Christmas Eve service.
Witches.
I know. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about witches a little bit. The next known incident occurred in 1237 when a large group of children were traveling between two towns and were jumping and dancing the entire way, similar to the Pied Piper of Hamelin, which is a legend that started around that time.
Okay.
There was another incident in 1278 involving around 200 people dancing on a bridge over the River Meuse, resulting in its collapse. The survivors were treated at a facility dedicated to Saint Vitus, and this is important to remember for later.
Saint Vitus?
Saint Vitus, yes.
Vitus.
So those were all like isolated cases and were not considered outbreaks.
Okay.
The real outbreak of the mania began between 1373 and 1374. On June 24th in 1347, one of the biggest outbreaks began and quickly spread through Europe, Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands. Further incidents occurred in 1418 in Strasbourg, where people fasted for days, and this was one of the possible theories for...
Fasted for days? How are they still on their feet?
Right. And that's like... So some people were like, well, fasting for that long is what made them, go crazy and, they're exhausted, so they're just dancing.
But if you have no food and you wouldn't have the energy to get up.
Right.
Like, you'd be fainting.
Right. That theory does not make sense to me. In another outbreak in 1428 in Schaffhausen, a monk danced to death, and in the same year, a group of women in Zurich were reportedly in a dancing frenzy. On July 14th, in 1518, a woman named Frau Trophier, and her daughter Fraulein Emma Gotz went outside and began to dance uncontrollably in front of their home in Strasbourg. This is the first time I've actually pictured this happening. And I know that they suffered, so this is not funny. But it just like, can you imagine just like going outside one day and your neighbors just like...
I don't know why you did that outside. If I was struck with a dancing plague, I would not leave my house. I would drop it low in here where no one can see me.
That's not what happened, though. They did it out in front of everybody.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah. If you're shaking it, might as well go out there trying to make some money.
Yeah.
That is not what they did. I'm sorry.
No. So this happened, like I said, in front of their home in Strasbourg, Alsace, or what is present-day France.
Okay.
As far as we know, she didn't have any music. She just started dancing. Some who witnessed her dancing started mimicking her. So, like, her husband, for example, went out and was just, like, copying her. And then he was plagued. So, that happened with several other people. So, within 30 days, within days, there were more than 30 people just dancing with no explainable reason. Frau Trophy danced for about a week, only stopping to sleep, and then continued dancing as soon as she woke up. By August of 1518, the dancing plague had afflicted 50 to 400 people. That's a very wide range.
50 to 400?
Yeah. Yeah. They weren't exactly sure how far it spread because people just started dancing and then, yeah.
Yeah.
There are some historical documents stating that at its peak, this killed up to 15 people a day. There is some controversy on whether this even killed people at all.
I was going to say 15 a day, that 50 to 400,
yeah.
They'd all be dead within a week.
Yeah.
If my math is right.
Yeah. I mean...
What's 15 divided by... 400 divided by 15?
I don't know.
Like a
calculator?
No, but I have one. Un momento, por favor. Okay. Divided by 15.
That's so many languages today.
400 divided by 15. That... Is this 4? No, okay. Motherfucker. 400 divided by 15. 26.66. So, in the 30 days, every single one of them would have been dead.
Yes.
Plus an extra 4.
Right. So this particular outbreak eventually died down by September.
Okay.
There were cases after this one, but this was the last like known documented presented as outbreak of the plague. And that's kind of the history behind it. Those are the main cases that I were able to find. Like I said, there's isolated places all throughout.
We had a dancing plague in the US, didn't we?
Potentially. It didn't show up in my notes, but I didn't go very far. I was more interested in the theories.
All right. Tell me your theories while I look it up.
So these are not my theories. These are the theories of why they happened. Because we still, even today, don't really know what caused this for sure. So the first theory is medical theories. So physicians at the time and even now, when it's discussed, rejected any paranormal explanation. At the time, physicians believed it to be caused by something called hot blood.
No, we've never had one.
Okay. Yeah.
Hot blood?
Yes, hot blood, which was, I think I have, was a medical theory that said that an excess of heat in the body would cause uncontrolled movement and behavior. I don't have uncontrolled movement, but my behavior is rather uncontrolled when I get hot.
I was going to say, when I get like overly hot, the last thing I want to do is
move.
Dance.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely don't want to dance, but I do get very cranky.
No, I'm still on dark magic.
Oh. Wait.
Witches.
Is it like a pill? Oh. I'm still on dark. Okay, so your theory is still dark magic.
My theory is still
like, what are you taking?
What dark pill are you taking?
Yeah, I want some. In more recent medical hypotheses, it is thought that this came from mass food poisoning from ergot fungi, which commonly grows on grains such as rye that are used for making bread. Suddenly milling my own flour doesn't sound so great.
I have also had food poisoning, and I was definitely not dancing.
I've also had food poisoning. However, ergotamine is a chemical compound that is derived from the fungus, ergot fungus, and that happens to be what LSD was originally synthesized from.
Oh.
So if they were all high on LSD, it makes sense.
That could be it.
Yeah. Lastly, there's a theory that this came from the bite of a tarantula. Hence, one of the names being tarantism. Now, when you look it up, tarantism and the dancing plague are commonly confused with one another.
Okay.
They are separate things.
Okay.
Tarantism, it did actually come from this tarantula that would bite people and it would cause like spastic movements, but not dancing.
That seemed like a very busy tarantula if that's what happened.
Yeah, well, it's probably more than one tarantula. It's probably not just one tarantula going around like, oh, there he is.
But if there is that many biting people, don't you think, like,
yeah,
I feel like that.
Well, and
tarantulas are big too. It's not like you have like a secret gang of tarantulas going around. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, and the people that were actually bitten by tarantulas, like that was in a specific area. Okay. Like these tarantulas lived in a specific area. They were not traveling to the Netherlands, Germany, France.
And even if like they did, again, you would be like, this scary fucking thing bit me.
Yeah. Right. So I reject that theory completely.
I rejected it too.
It's tarantulas. The food poisoning with LSD, I could get behind. And I definitely don't think that it's from hot blood.
No, I don't think so either. I think I could get behind the LSD a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's weird that they all tripped in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the only thing that's like...
Yeah, that's a popular like rejection of the theory.
Yeah, all of them tripping by dancing. Yeah. I've never taken LSD, so...
No, me either.
Maybe that's what they do.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe LSD makes you dance.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know. But if you know, let us know. Yeah. Because I don't judge. I'm just not going to do it.
Let us know how often you guys dance when you're tripping.
The second set of theories are psychological theories. So
Okay.
this is the most commonly discussed theory and probably the most popularly accepted.
Is it the twin one?
No.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
okay. Tell me what you...
Yeah.
And I'll tell you if that's what I'm thinking of, because I can't remember the name of mine. I can only
Okay.
think of like the twins that have it.
Okay. Essentially just mass hysteria is known to spread rapidly and widely, and because of that, it could likely have been caused by mass hysteria, usually stress induced, because at the time, the region where people danced was riddled with starvation and disease, and inhabitants tended to be superstitious. So they figured that if, they're already starving and stressed about how they're going to stay alive and feed themselves and feed their families, it could have just altered their sense of reality and essentially made them go into psychotic break.
I could see that one. That's the most believable so far.
Yeah. The third is religious theories. So, when the plague started, some believed that dancing was a curse sent by Saint Vitus and or Saint John to those who had sinned. Those who began dancing were made to wear red shoes, I don't know why, sprinkled with holy water, and a drawn cross on the top of the shoes. And then as they were dancing, they would be led to the temples of worship for Saint Vitus or Saint John, where they would dance until they passed out from exhaustion.
Okay.
And then they would wake up and they were cured. And it is believed that some people started doing this in fear of, in fear of sinning and not being accepted by Saint Vitus, which is the fourth theory, that it was all fake. And that outbreaks were all staged, and the appearance of strange behavior was due to its unfamiliarity. Religious cults may have been acting out well-organized dances and in accordance with ancient Greek and Roman rituals. Despite being banned at the time, these rituals could be performed under the guise of uncontrollable dancing mania. Justice Hecker, a 19th century medical writer, described it as a kind of festival where a practice known as the kindling of the nod fire was carried out. This involved jumping through the fire and smoke in an attempt to ward off disease, witches. Bartholomew notes how participants in this ritual would often continue to jump and leap long after the flames had gone.
Okay.
So, those are all the theories. I think most likely it was just mass hysteria.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying to me.
Yeah.
But I could believe the LSD. I could also believe the religious theories, but only in like I would think that witches were doing these rituals to remain healthy, and then people just joined in without knowing what was going on.
I think that makes sense. I think a few were faking it, and it started as a fake thing, and then other people saw them doing it and joined in, and then it became mass hysteria. I think it started off as something else though.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that there weren't any other symptoms, right? They didn't have a fever.
Yeah.
They didn't have, they were literally just dancing. They did treatments. There wasn't really a treatment, but some that they attempted to treat were treated with exorcism. People just thought that the devil was inside people.
Hot.
Yeah. Yeah. And the LSD fungus was also a theory behind the Salem witch trials.
The LSD fungus.
The twins.
Oh, that none of what you said was
okay.
The twins. I'll cover the twins because that just reminded me of it.
Okay.
The people who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. It's the French word for two people going crazy together. I can't remember what it's called. It's French though. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the LSD fungus.
Mm-hmm.
So do they turn the fungus into LSD, or like the fungus itself has LSD properties where like if you inhale it you become high?
Correct.
Or is it,
so that is how it would have happened if that was going to be caused. They later found out that, hey, this makes you high, and then synthesized it further into LSD. Okay, so it already had the properties.
All right, that's what I was thinking. Because I'm like, for it to get that many people that high, like, it would have to have the like, it wouldn't just be like, oh, like you could use this to make LSD.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it was already there.
So. I believe that a little bit. I just don't think that they would all trip the same way.
Yeah, I agree. I think to be honest with you, I think it could be a mix of all four theories.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think people start going crazy and everyone's like, all right, we're dancing.
Yeah.
Well, what else is there to do in the 1800s?
Fuck it.
We're not allowed to murder the woman anymore, so let's just dance with them instead.
That's funny that you say that because there's like historical records that show that it was mostly women afflicted with this, but there's also historical records that say that's not true. And there wasn't like a gender preference for this. It was just whoever.
I feel like the men are more likely to just stay inside and dance. Like they wouldn't go outside.
Yeah,
and dance.
there were probably a lot of secret dancers.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the dancing plague, and I thought it was interesting.
Thank you. That was very interesting.
Yes, I'm scared for what you're going to talk about because you always talk about creepy things.
Yes. My segment has a lot to do with LSD, which is funny.
How do we do this? We do this so often where it's like, oh my God, my topic is and again, we have no idea what the other's talking about until the day we show up.
But this time we're not in the same time period. You're in the 1800s. I'm in 1950s.
Right.
Well, actually, from 1943 to 1953.
Okay.
Is what mine was.
Still, that's kind of weird.
No, 20 years. It wasn't 10 years. I don't know. It's in my notes somewhere.
Okay.
Today, I will be talking about MKUltra.
Yes.
Which is why I've been talking about a lot of LSD. Because they used a lot of LSD.
Yeah.
Lots of other drugs. But a lot of the documents were destroyed, so we don't really know the full extent of the drug usage because that is what they mostly destroyed.
Oh, good.
All right, and everything I am going to be talking about today is not a conspiracy. It is true, and it is in documents that you can find on the CIA website because they were forced to publicize it.
But none of the important stuff because it's burned.
Well, we don't know.
Oh,
because it's burned.
I guess you wouldn't know if it was important if you've never read it. Okay. All right.
You're like, all the important stuff was burned. I'm like, I don't know what was on there. I can't tell you.
Well, if it was burned, it must have been important.
True that. Well, actually, all of this was. I'll get into it. All right. So in 1953, the CIA director Alan Dulles signed off on Project MKUltra that stated purpose was the research and development of chemical, biological, and radiological materials capable of employment in clandestine operations to control human behavior. That is a direct quote from the documents on the declassified general report from the CIA. And that is also available to read on CIA.gov, which is where I got most of my information.
Is that really the website?
CIA.gov? I think so. Let me see.
That's kind of funny.
CIA.gov.
Is that where you can get like the Epstein files too?
No, that's on. I actually have. Oh no, the FBI. The Epstein files are open on that laptop right there. Because
I hate that.
I try to read a little bit of the Epstein files every day in honor of the victims who have been screaming about this. So that's why it is open. I don't just have it open for fun on my
like
laptop.
A decoration.
No, it's not, but it is reading. Like currently open on my actual laptop over there. All right. Back to other horrible things instead of the Epstein files.
Yes.
And I'm actually not going to connect them today. I usually connect this to
Everything
Israel
always
or
comes back,
Epstein, and today I'm not. So,
well,
lucky you guys.
the one thing Epstein didn't touch.
Well, I don't think he was. Was he alive in the? Yeah, he was alive.
Yeah.
Just a baby.
See a wee lad planning all his.
So most of the records were destroyed in 1973 by order of the CIA director Richard Helms. So it's been difficult to get a complete understanding of the more than 150 funded research subprojects sponsored by MKUltra and related CIA programs. But
that's a lot.
How did it all start? I may not be going to Epstein, but I am going to Nazis.
Shocking.
During the early 1940s, Nazi scientists working in concentration camps of Auschwitz and Dachau. I'm so sorry, guys. During World War II, conducted interrogation operations on human subjects. Substances such as barbiturates, morphine derivatives, and hallucinogens such as mescaline were used in experiments conducted on Polish, Russian, Ukrainian, and Jewish prisoners of war.
Horrible.
These experiments were aimed to develop a truth serum which could eliminate the will of the person examined. American historian Stephen Kinzer said that the CIA project was a continuation of these early Nazi experiments, as evidenced by MKUltra's use of mescaline on unwitting subjects and replicating previous Nazi experiments conducted at Dachau, and the fact that numerous Nazi scientists would actually be employed by the United States government after World War II ended to continue their research on Jews.
You know, I know we're not the only country that's been evil for forever, but it just, every time it's disappointing.
We may not be the only country who's been evil, but we seem to be in everybody else's evil business. If another country is being evil, the U.S. is right there like, can we get some of that?
What you doing?
Can we get some of that?
What you got over there?
American interest in drug-related interrogation experiments began in 1943 when the Office of Strategic Services began developing a truth drug that would produce uninhibited truthfulness in an interrogated person. In 1947, the United States Navy initiated Project Chatter, an interrogation program which saw the first testing of LSD on human subjects. And fun fact, I didn't write this down, so this might be wrong because I'm just a dumb bitch that says things. But during my research, I read that the United States bought like all of the LSD supply, so other countries couldn't do this.
Really?
Yeah. So we wanted to be the only one torturing people with LSD. We wanted to make sure that nobody else could do that.
Mel, we wanted to be the only ones experimenting so that we could find the research first.
We had to get the Nazis. We had to get the LSD.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It might not have been evil. We were trying to learn.
Just remember you said that in a second, okay? 1950, the CIA, under the direction of General Walter Bedell Smith, initiated a series of interrogation practices involving human subjects, beginning with the launch of Project Bluebird, officially renamed Project Artichoke on August.
Why? I was like, I've heard of Project Bluebird.
I don't know.
Where do they come up with these?
I think it's just they're discussing these evil things and they're like, oh, a bluebird just flew by. Project Bluebird. Oh, your artichoke spinach dip looks so good. So when we stab them with LSD, do you think we should call it Project Artichoke?
Did they have spinach artichoke dip?
In the 1950s, probably.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Let's find out.
I'm the worst at distracting.
Spinach artichoke in the 1950s. Well,
Okay, look at that. It must have been like a new thing. So they were like, you heard about that artichoke dip? Project Artichoke.
yeah, because this was founded in the 1950s, and this happened at the maybe they just kind of happened at the same time. Same meeting.
That's the...
This is not funny. I'm sorry, guys.
It's not. That, what you said, was funny. The topic is not. All right, continue. You have to leave that in there. That was so funny.
Bird officially renamed Project Artichoke on August 20th, 1951, directed and overseen by Brigadier General Paul F. Gaynor.
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 Gaynor?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nar.
Or Nar.
He's evil. I can make fun of his name.
Yeah.
Gaynor. The objective of Artichoke.
Do you read this when you write it?
I don't say it out loud.
Yeah. Okay.
The objective of Artichoke was to determine whether a person could be made to perform an act of attempted assassination involuntarily. It's not funny.
They're trying to build assassinators?
Who don't know that they're assassinating people, who have like no control over it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
so yeah, they're trying to like see if they give these people enough LSD, if they can make them assassinate people for the government without any choice. Morphine, mescaline, and LSD were all administered to unknowing CIA agents in an attempt to produce amnesia in the subjects. So they were hoping that they could get them to kill them and then forget that they killed them.
That's truly evil.
Again, I don't care what Gaynor's name is and if I mispronounced it.
Sounds very illegal, but I guess when did we ever care about that?
No, this was illegal.
Yeah.
This was fully illegal.
Which is crazy because CIA funded it.
Because we care about legality in this country.
We arrived at the point.
And in addition, Project Artichoke, did I say it right? In addition, Project Artichoke aimed to employ certain viruses, such as dengue fever, as potential incapacitating agents. Once Project MKUltra started, experiments included administering LSD to mental patients, prisoners, drug addicts, and prostitutes. People who could not fight back, as one agency officer put it.
Wow.
In one case, they administered LSD to a mental patient in Kentucky for 174 days straight.
That's so many days.
That is so many days.
Imagine being on LSD for 174 days.
How long does LSD last in your system?
I don't know.
Like, did he have any peace during that 174 days?
Did he ever come down, or was it just...
Well, I'm sure at the end, I don't know if they were like increasing the dosage, because if they just gave him the same dose, I'm sure by the end it didn't affect him as much.
Yeah, that's true.
So LSD typically lasts between 8 to 12 hours.
Oh, jeez.
Though effects can occasionally stretch from 6 to 15 hours, depending on the dosage, your metabolism, and your mental state.
Oh, so if he was already mentally disturbed, then it potentially lasted longer.
And I'm guessing they weren't feeding him very well.
I would assume. That's so sad.
That is very sad, but unfortunately it just gets worse.
Great.
They also administered LSD to CIA employees, military personnel, doctors, and other government agents and members of the general public to study their reactions.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Pause again. So, were these people like still going to their day job?
Yeah. They would give it to them without them knowing.
Yeah.
Just to see how they would react.
And then they just go do CIA shit?
And military shit and doctor
shit. Doctor shit. Oh yeah. My. Continue.
The aim was to find drugs that would bring out deep confessions or wipe a subject's mind clean and program them as a robot agent. Military personnel would receive mind-altering drugs, were also threatened with car if they told anybody about these experiments. And that's like a military
like trial.
Yeah, kind of.
Hmm.
LSD and other drugs were often administered without the subject's knowledge or informed consent. So again, they would just give it to these people to see what happened.
How is it administered?
Through different ways. So it would either be like injected without them telling them what the injection was, or they would put it in their food or in their drinks, or like sprayed. They tried a lot of different methods to see what worked best as well.
Yeah.
I'm an adult. Operation Midnight Climax was established in order to study the effects of LSD on non-consenting individuals.
Different meeting.
Prostitutes. Yeah. Prostitutes on the CIA payroll were instructed to lure clients back to...
What? I just processed what you said. Prostitutes on the CIA payroll?
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is blowing my mind.
Prostitutes on the CIA payroll were instructed to lure clients back to the safe houses where they would just have like a bunch of different drugs, including LSD, and they were monitored behind a one-way glass. So these people would take a bunch of drugs, have sex with the prostitutes while being watched behind a one-way mirror. And then the prostitutes were instructed to use the post-coital questioning, is what they called it, to investigate whether the victims could be convinced to involuntarily reveal secrets.
So they think that drugs coupled with
sex,
climax ecstasy would get them to talk.
Yeah, they wanted to see if they could get like people to reveal secrets.
What kind of secrets would these normal people have?
These weren't normal people.
Right, but you said that some of them were just like prostitutes, people from the public.
The prostitutes were on the payroll, so these were not, like, the prostitutes were not the ones being lured here. The people being lured here were like the government officials, the military personnel, them.
Gotcha.
The victims were sometimes fed subliminal messages and attempts to induce them to involuntary actions, including criminal activities such as robbery, assault, and assassination. So, like, after they had sex, after they took the drugs, the prostitutes would just, like, start feeding them these, like, secret coded messages to see if they would rob people, assault people, kill people. Many of the CIA operatives involved in the experiments voluntarily indulged in the drugs and prostitutes for recreational purposes. So,
great.
Yep. In other experiments where people were given LSD without their knowledge, they were interrogated under bright lights with doctors in the background taking notes. They told their subjects that they would extend their trips if they refused to reveal their secrets. The people subjected to these interrogations were CIA employees, U.S. military personnel, and agents suspected of working for the Soviet bloc during the Cold War. Long-term debilitation and several deaths resulted from this. Another technique investigated was the intravenous administration of a barbiturate in one arm and an amphetamine into the other. The barbiturates were released in the person first, and as soon as the person began to fall asleep, the amphetamines were released. Other experiments involved heroin, morphine, temazepam. I don't know drugs, sorry y'all. Mescaline, psychobian, scopolamine, alcohol, and sodium pentothal.
So a lot of drugs.
A lot of different drugs with a lot of different things. A 1955 MKUltra document details research objectives to identify drugs that could be used as cognitive enhancers disease mimetics, euphoriants without the letdown, and agents to diminish ambition, among other uses. The extent of testing towards these objectives is unclear given the deliberate destruction of most drug-related MKUltra files in the 1973.
Wow.
So basically, they had orders for a bunch of different drugs. We just destroyed why we needed them.
That's crazy. They're important. I know.
I think America likes to blame Mexicans and Mexico for the drug problem in the US, but I fully believe that MKUltra is the reason we have such a high drug problem in the US.
I mean, yeah, the more you learn about it, there could be people still alive who were subject to this.
We're getting there.
Okay, great.
Yeah, there are. There definitely are.
I was going to say,
because they talk out about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is only from the 50s.
Right.
They're not even that old.
No. Yeah. Shoot, my grandma was born in 1939.
My mom was born in 69.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Declassified MKUltra documents indicate that they studied hypnosis in the early 1950s. Experimental goals included creating hypnotically induced anxieties, hypnotically increasing ability to learn and recall complex written matter, hypnotically increasing the ability to observe and recall complex arrangements of physical objects, and studying relationships of personality to the susceptibility to hypnosis. They conducted experiments with drug-induced hypnosis and with anterograde and retrograde amnesia while under the influence of such drugs. The CIA exported experiments to Canada when they recruited Scottish psychiatrist Donald Ewan Cameron, creator of the psychic driving concept, which the CIA found interesting. Cameron had been hoping to correct schizophrenia by erasing existing memory and reprogramming the psyche. Cameron would experiment with various paralytic drugs as well as electroconvulsion therapy at 30 to 40 times the normal power. His driving experiments consisted of putting subject into drug-induced comas for weeks at a time, sometimes up to 3 months in one case, while playing tape loops of noise and simple repetitive statements.
Did you ever watch Stranger Things?
No.
Okay.
I watched the first season, but then the main character came out to be that huge Zionist and was passing out Zionism as sexy sticker, so
I don't know about that, but
yeah, so I stopped watching it after that.
So
cuz fuck him.
Spoiler alert. The in the last season, one of the characters is in a coma due to being infected by the monster.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the techniques to get her out of the Upside Down was to just have this song that she was obsessed with playing over and over and over again in the background, and that eventually led her to the exit of the Upside Down. So, yeah.
Well, that's where they took this from.
Yeah.
Although I think they were trying to do the opposite of
yes
in this case.
Yes.
His experiments were often carried out on patients who entered the institute for very extreme problems like anxiety disorders and postpartum depression.
My God.
Many of whom suffered permanent effects from his actions. His treatments resulted in victims' urinary incontinence, amnesia, forgetting how to talk, forgetting who their parents were, and thinking that their interrogators were their parents.
Oh. That's so sad.
But at least Cameron became known worldwide as the first chairman of the World Psychiatric Association, as well as the president of both the American Psychiatric Association and the Canadian Psychiatric Association.
Oh, thank God.
Cameron was also a member of the Nuremberg Medical Tribune in 1946 to 1947, so at least he has that going for him. Great job, Cameron.
We love you.
In areas under American control in the early 1950s in Europe and East Asia, mostly Japan, West Germany, and the Philippines, the CIA created secret detention centers so that the U.S. could avoid criminal prosecution. And in these detention centers, the CIA captured people suspected of being enemy agents and other people it deemed expandable to undergo various types of torture and human experimentation.
We literally just became the Nazis.
So,
because the Nazis did like eugenics and experiments on the people to, get one race.
Well, when you hire the Nazis.
I mean, yeah, it's not too far of a stretch that you turn into them, I guess, but.
The prisoners were interrogated while being administered psychoactive drugs, electroshocked, and subjected to the extremes of temperatures, sensory isolation, and the like to develop a better understanding of how to destroy and control human minds. In October of 1950, during the Korean War, North Korean prisoners of war under U.S. custody were subjected to experiments under Project Bluebird. According to declassified documents released by the National Security Archive in 2024 to 2025, these experiments involved the use of various drugs and advanced interrogation techniques, including hypnosis, sleep deprivation, torture, etc., with the stated aim of controlling an individual to the point where he will do our bidding against his will and even against such fundamental laws as nature as self-preservation. So that was our goal.
I'm just so sad.
In 1973, amid a government-wide panic caused by the Watergate scandal, the CIA director Richard Helms ordered all the MKUltra files to be destroyed. Pursuant to this order, most CIA documents regarding the project were destroyed, making a full investigation of MKUltra impossible.
Yeah.
But a cache of some 20,000 documents survived Helms' purge as they had been incorrectly stored in a financial records building, and they were discovered following a Freedom of Information Act request in 1977. These documents were fully investigated during the Senate's hearing of 1977, and on the Senate floor in 1977, Senator Ted Kennedy said, "The deputy director of the CIA revealed that over 30 universities and institutions were involved in an extensive testing and experimentation program, which included covert drug tests on unwitting citizens at all social levels, high, low, Native Americans, and foreign." What he was saying is that when they had to take the CIA to court, the deputy director of the CIA revealed that throughout these 30 universities and institutions that they were doing extensive testing on everybody unwittingly at all social levels, including high class, low class, Native Americans, and foreign citizens.
Wow.
Several of these tests involved the administration of LSD to unwitting subjects in social situations. It was also discovered that they were using terminally ill cancer patients to test unknown chemicals without their knowledge or consent. Several known deaths have been associated with Project MKUltra, most notably that of Frank Olson. Olson was a United States Army biochemist and biological weapons researcher. He was also one of the MKUltra researchers, if that's what you want to call them. In 1953, a few days before his death, Frank Olson quit his position as acting chief of Special Operations Divisions at Detrick in Maryland because a severe moral crisis began concerning him, and he just didn't want to do it anymore. His concerns were the development of assassination materials used by the CIA, the CIA's use of biological warfare materials in covert operations, experimentation with biological weapons in populated areas, collaboration with former Nazi scientists under Operation Paperclip.
Again.
Whatever was in their hand.
Yeah.
LSD mind control research, and the use of psychoactive drugs during terminal interrogations under a program named Project Artichoke. In 1953, Olson was given LSD without his knowledge or consent as part of a CIA operation, and again, this was after he quit, and died after falling from a 13th story window a week later.
Oh, God.
A CIA doctor assigned to monitor Olson claimed to have been asleep in another bed in a New York City hotel room when Olson fell to his death. In 1953, Olson's death was described as a suicide that occurred during a severe psychotic episode.
I mean, yeah, I guess technically, but he was drugged.
It was suicide. I think.
Well, no,
the only other witness was a doctor you had watching him who was asleep in the other room.
So are you saying that he didn't actually fall from the building?
I'm saying he fell from the building. I just don't think it was from his own accord.
Oh,
I think somebody pushed him.
Oh,
I think he was murdered.
See, I still think that he was murdered, but I was thinking he jumped. He did technically commit suicide, but because he was
this happened a week after he was drugged.
Oh, so he wasn't drugged anymore.
Yeah, so he was drugged, and then a week later is when he died falling from the 13th story window.
Okay.
But I think they gave him the LSD without his knowledge or consent.
Yeah.
Just to kind of say,
sure.
You know, I think.
Oh yeah, he was definitely murdered then.
Yes, I think so too. But yeah, that is MKUltra.
That's crazy. Also, I was thinking they did these experiments on cancer patients without their knowledge. For me personally, if I had a terminally ill cancer and you just asked me, I would be down. You know what I mean?
To test unknown chemicals?
Yeah. I'm already terminally ill.
So. I don't think so. If a guy came up to me and he was like, yo, we have these Nazis over here. They're making these chemicals. We're not really sure what they do, but we think it might completely control human beings.
See, and that's what I was going to say. I didn't think through the process because then I remembered that who I would be providing this for.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do it
if
for
it
that.
was
but
if I was dying of cancer and they're like, hey, we have this experimental drugs that could help other cancer patient, I would say yes.
That's sort of what I meant along the line.
But I feel like they just didn't know how to be like, hey, we think this might control a human brain and let us convince them to kill people and not remember. Can we try this on you?
Yeah, no, I would be like, absolutely not.
So I think they were just like, you know what, you're dying anyways. You're already hooked up. Just put this in their machine.
Yeah. God. Who was president at the time?
I think Truman. 1950s?
He's dead in the ground. He's dead in the ground.
Let's see.
He's dead.
Well, this happened over 20 years,
the
so.
Burgers reference in case any of our listeners.
I don't know the reference. But it happened over 20 years, so I don't know who was president. Let's see, who was president during MK?
Not that he directly has any influence over it because the CIA is different, but
Dwight Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, and Lyndon B. Johnson, and Richard Nixon. So 4 presidents.
Wow. And you can't tell me none of them had any inkling.
Dwight Eisenhower authorized the project in 1953.
Okay.
Then John F. Kennedy took it over when he became president. Then Lyndon B. Johnson. And then Richard Nixon was the president when the program was officially halted, and then many records were destroyed during the Nixon's administration.
Watergate.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
so not Truman. I was very wrong. There were 4 presidents, and I was wrong.
Wrong. That's okay.
So a little bit of a conspiracy theory that comes from this is people think that Charles Manson was part of the MKUltra. Because in California, in the same time that the Manson family was there, his cult was living there, Lewis West was testing LSD in cults.
Oh. Oh.
And that's where he was with his cult. And he was heavily into LSD even without the project.
Sure.
So they think,
wow.
So a lot of people speculate that that was like Manson's thing. He would have volunteered for that. He probably would have even, he would have just went and been like,
yeah, he would have been like, hey,
free
I heard about
drugs?
this. Right.
I don't think you inject LSD. I don't know. No, I think, isn't it? It's acid, right? So that's like
it's like a tablet pill.
Yeah. So yeah, and then they think that's why he ended up going crazy and killing people, because he went from being like this hippy dippy, just happy like family cult thing where everybody was just all about love, and to murdering people.
That's great. That's an insane theory. I want to read more about that.
There's not too much because there's no like actual documents saying that he was one of them, but a lot of people suspect it.
That's a good theory.
Yeah, they actually have like a documentary on Netflix diving more deep into that theory.
Oh my gosh, I have to watch that.
I didn't watch it because I don't know.
Yeah. So there's a YouTuber that I have watched her literally since she like started being on the internet. I just now, like within the past week and a half, realized how famous she is now. I had no idea, but her name is Kelsey Davies. And she's a clairvoyant. She talks to the dead. She sees people. She is obsessed with haunted dolls. And that is how I started watching her, because she just popped up on whatever I was on one day, talking about her haunted doll Lola. I think it was when TikTok first started. And she had like a following on TikTok, but she wasn't like that famous, right? And then now she's like traveling to all these different places and investigating, and so her videos are, while I know that a lot of them are for like entertainment purposes, you can tell that things are like some of the things that they do are for entertainment, but I 100% believe that she has these gifts. Anyway, one of the most recent videos that I watched was she got a box of these haunted dolls from someone that she works with, and one of them was a doll that Charles Manson had made while he was in prison, because he used to make these dolls out of like underwear, socks, stuff like that. And this doll that she got was said to be made from a pair of underwear from jail. And it's kind of like a voodoo doll, but this one that she got was it didn't really look like a doll. It was kind of like a stick figure almost on a train. Like and it's all like rolled up, and it looks like it could be underwear. And Charles Manson came with a note that Charles Manson wrote, and it was basically like it was made to help people remember what they've forgotten. Which is crazy if he was part of MKUltra,
because they tried to take away his memories.
Yes. Holy.
That's insane.
So yeah, and yeah. So that was just a little tidbit. Kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
So, wow.
That's what we got for you this week.
Yeah.
Next week, I do connect back to this a lot, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, next week, And
don't worry, guys. We are literally recording the next episode as soon as we finish this one, so it will be out next week.
Yes, it will.
So we will be wearing the same exact clothes when you see us in the video.
Mind your business.
Yeah. We're not dirty. We're literally just going to push end and then push start.
Yeah.
How are we going to do that with my phone? I'm not going to have enough memory for that. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out off camera. Don't worry.
Beef of the week? Do you have one?
Yeah. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
So my beef of this week is how people choose to talk to customer service people. Okay. My job is like, it technically is customer service, but it's advanced customer service, right? Like it's specialty customer service. I am doing you a service, and I also have a license to do what I'm doing. So I know what I'm talking about. And when I don't, I'm not afraid to say, let me get back to you.
Yeah.
None of that happened, but people really just think that they can call you, and I hate to say it, but it's very specifically men or like our parents' age women.
Yeah.
just like they call and they think they can talk to you any way that they want. And then they're so surprised when you talk back, like professionally, right? I'm not like going out there calling people names or anything like that. But when I correct them, they're like, what? They just freak out. Like, what do you want me to just sit here and take it? Yeah. It's not happening. And I've worked customer service my whole life. Like, I've worked fast food, I've worked retail, I've worked as a barista. And it just amazes me every time that there are people
think
out there
they give you money and they're allowed to just do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
It's very annoying.
Yeah, it's just insane to me. And I just, even if I was mad, I wouldn't have the audacity to speak to another human being that way.
And as I'm not customer service, but as someone who's working, is if you come to me with an attitude, I'm not going to go above it. I'm still going to fix your issue. Yeah. But someone who is nice, I will go above and beyond. I will tell the people who are able to fix it to like expedite it. Yes. I'll put the blame on, like, even if you did something wrong, which most of the time they do something wrong, they click something without reading. I'll be like, I did this, so fix it immediately. Give them a like, if you're nice to me, I will do more. Yeah. I will take care of you. I will get it done as fast as possible. If you come to me and you're yelling at me, all I'm doing is fixing your issue. Right. Like, you're not going to get any other things from it. Nothing.
Fix it and goodbye.
Goodbye. So if you want good customer service and you want it to get fixed, don't be a dick, because we ain't going to do it. So we'll still do it, but
yeah. Right.
Trust me, you want us to do it the way we want to do it.
Yes.
Because if you're annoyed by an issue, trust us, we're annoyed by it too.
Yes.
We want it fixed.
We don't want issues either.
Yeah.
Because it makes our job harder.
We will get it fixed. Yeah. Because we hate it too. We don't want to be dealing with it. We don't want to take phone calls.
Nope.
And she gets that way more than I do.
Yeah. The other day, it was so busy yesterday after Memorial Day. I take overflow calls as well. Mm-hmm. I took 30 phone calls just on my own. And there are 2 other people who do overflow phone calls. And we have a receptionist.
Dang.
Yeah. It was so busy. So I took a lot of phone calls. Luckily, most of the time people are great. This is it. Yeah. In my experience, this is like rare, right? But every time it happens, it's always that one that you're just like, where do you get off talking to people like that? It's crazy. It's insane. So,
all right.
What's your beef?
Men, as always.
This is thematic.
The new North Carolina bill that they just introduced, saying that life begins at fertilization.
What?
You guys don't know what that means. When the sperm meets the egg.
That's when life starts.
That's when life starts. And if you do anything to stop that from happening, from the fertilization, the penalty could be death. Which means if this bill gets passed, women could die for using birth control.
Mm-hmm. What century are we living in right now?
Other states have tried to pass this, and thankfully it has failed. But with the recent passing of recent bills that we've had lately, I feel like North Carolina knows that now's a good time to pass it.
Oh, yeah. There's so many things that are trying to be pushed through right now because of the timing. They're like, we got to get this. Either we have to get this in right now because elections are coming up, or because they have the right people in their cabinet to vote for it. So,
yep.
That's crazy. Also, when an egg is fertilized, there's nothing. Like, all that has happened is that the egg could produce an embryo.
Mm-hmm.
Could. There's nothing alive at that point. Unless you want to get very technical and, say our eggs and sperm are alive. Don't give them that idea. Jesus.
They're even like extending it to IVF.
It's just so infuriating. It's infuriating as a woman, but it's also just infuriating for people who want to get pregnant and who are trying to get pregnant and they have complications. And, you know, this doesn't go along with the bill, but,
yeah,
you know, just you hear all the stories about the women who have to wait to get the medically necessary abortion because they have an ectopic pregnancy or the baby is literally like poisoning them in the wrong place. Like, it's so sad. It's so sad. And then to extend shit like that to IVF, which is very expensive, and people pay a lot of money to try and have a baby. It's evil. It's evil.
Yep. So make sure you guys vote.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all for today's episodes of Plot Twists and Punchlines. Follow our TikTok at @plot_twist_punchlinespod and on Insta at @plot_twist_punchlines_podcast. Steph, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on TikTok at Vessel, VESSIIL, or Instagram at StephSmilesXX.
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
You can find me on TikTok at Mel of a Time. It's like hell of a time, but with only one L and Mel instead of hell. Oh, wait, that's you.
If this made you laugh, feel seen, or just forget about the world for a minute, we're so glad you're here. Your support means the world to us. If you want to support us by more than just listening, you can follow our Patreon and become part of our inner circle. Choose from 2 different monthly donations, each with their own perks.
And please don't forget to follow, rate, and review because it really helps us out.
And share this with a friend who needs a laugh or a break too.
And come back for more laughs, hot takes, and creepy conspiracy theories. Bye!